Brandasya Janjana Shavakaya Chakshu Amritamena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarupyascha Kripasindhupya Evacha Patitanam Bhavantyo Vaishnavyo Namaha. All glories to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. All glories to His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Srila Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. All glories to the Vaishnavas. Good morning. It's 5:04 on the 5th of the 4th, 2016. My name's Achincha Govinda Das, and recently, the day after Gorpanim, I put up my first Flat Earth video called Australia and the Flat Earth, Volume 1. So this is an appendix, an addendum, I don't know if that's the right word, we use the word appendix. So let's get back to that first thing. Here's the apology. I made a mistake, it's not Northern Ireland. On the very first time I looked back at my video on the 10th of December and then looked through the footage in the video editor, I found the tower and the ball. And that intrigued me a lot. So I went there from December the 10th in all different conditions 40 or more times.
Oh, you're out of my way. I'm looking at the other end of the Gold Coast.
With other witnesses, I met a couple of locals, everyone was trying to be helpful, etc, etc. And a lot of people claimed they could see Northern Ireland on a good day. As yet, we haven't seen a clear, good day, hot. But that's the cut.
Right, so this is obviously the surveyor's plate, right?
Yep.
Pretty damn easy. East, west.
Yep.
Am I on? I think I'm recording. You might as well record it while I'm telling you. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm just aligning this centre point up with as close to the compass proper as possible. And then what I'm going to do is look, see where these two things here.
Yep.
Snapper rocks down there.
Yep.
That's the surfing just down there. So let's just do that and we'll zoom in on that. Just for the sake of it, there's the surfing at Snapper Rocks. Okey-doke. But I'm not really interested in Snapper Rocks. What I'm interested in is Stradbroke Island. So...
Shouldn't really be able to see Stradbroke Island from here, should we? You're not a flat earther, are you? You're not
well,
at least it sounds like you're not a globulist.
Let's just say this, for the last 2 days in a row, I've been seeing land much further north than Stradbroke.
Thank you very much.
And guess what? I've been coming here for 3 or 4 days at a time, and I've just done it. I've been up all night doing the sun and moon and shit like that. But what I figured was, I might get a low tide event here. See what I'm saying? Hold on, there's some land there. There it is, there's a bluff. Now I'm cranking more north than Straddy, so we'll just keep panning to the right. And And the only land that can be north of Stradbroke has to be...
Moreton Island.
And
Right.
I saw it yesterday. Pretty sure. I'm not so sure with the landscape, but you can tell where big sand dunes and mines are
Yeah.
from here. Might sound staggering.
No.
I've checked this all out on Google Earth first. I plotted the whole thing out.
You're not talking to novices.
Good on you. Well, my name's... I just want to hold on to this thing. It's so difficult to hold the horizon. So just a second. I just want to see if I can see anything further north. Because I have been. Where are we panning? We're almost dead north, so it's almost impossible from here to see anything up that far. So I'll just do a gradual pan back. Have you seen that strange boat over there to the
Well, we were wondering what it was.
northeast?
It looks like looks like an oil drilling platform.
Really?
It looked like the old drilling platform they used for the desalination plant. But it's I don't freaking know what it's doing out there.
Okay, so the original idea was to meet Brudgenath at the compass point, set up the laptop, look at the horizon and cross-reference it. Put the Google Earth on, we didn't get good reception, so that mucked me around. Then I made the hood, and of course they still didn't stop the glare. What's a dirty screen? My fault. Anyway, so two pedestrians, Mark and Margaret, came up and they were interested in what we were doing. So of course they put their knowledge in. So they couldn't see as accurately, it wasn't that easy, and they were trying to describe what the things were, southern end, great sandy deserts and other things like that. So it must have been baffling the locals for some time anyway, because they all know they can see stuff on the horizon out there. That's the ensuing chat. I've been looking for that Doppler radar since I very first video recorded it on the 10th of December 2015. I sent emails, and in one particular to Maritime Safety Queensland, and they suggested, the representative suggested I look at the Mount Stapleton. Well, in my pictures, Mount Stapleton's right over there. Never mind exactly, don't want to get sidetracked. He pointed out that what he was seeing in my picture was a Doppler radar, and from that point I was looking for them everywhere to get my bearings, and that one never came up. So to thank you very much. You've now really sorted the whole show out. Thank you. So let's go into the dialogue. Look, unprofessional, whatever. I haven't got budgets. I'm a carer 24/7. It's overnight, I'm still up. I set this up overnight, thinking about it for the last few days, to demonstrate and to come back to an email I was sent. Our Earth is 24,901 miles at the equator circumference. If it's a ball, that measurement is the same in all directions approximately, because it's not a ball. I'm going to throw another red herring in here. Have you ever seen an image of the Earth as a globe and they pull the water off it? And then think of it as a ball. No, water on Earth, on a globe, has got magical properties, I can assure you, if it can stick to a globe while it spins. Absolute magic. Getting back, I digress. So I'm just going to read you the email quickly. It says, Hare Krishna, Achincha Prabhu, I hope that all is well for you. Might bleep that out. Sent me a link to your recent YouTube posting. I thought I'd better say something to try and help you. Your video actually gives evidence of Earth's curvature. However, somehow you are not picking up on it. From your first location, you see what you describe as an island with a ball and tower. So now you can see the laptop. I've got picture. What's happened to this? Yep, that's the way. Yeah. Bit of ocean, bit of land, a tower and a ball. I've been video recording that more than 40 times since December the 10th. Well, at least I've been down there, because sometimes you can't see it. 40 times from 3 separate locations. Snapper rocks. Greenmount. And Garuda, or Kira, eagle on the hill. They're all relatively the same height, and they all have a compass plate. I think the one in the middle at Greenmount actually has distances. We haven't got a compass and checked that the compass plates are correct, but we'd imagine that they are, because they're in stone emplacements. Remember the stonemasons? That'll come up in volume 2. I don't want to digress. So here, I had to seriously look. So the South Stradbroke starts at 17 miles and runs to 30, and the North Stradbroke runs from 30 miles to 50 miles. So I go back to my Google Earth. Let's quickly go to Google Earth. And of course we found it. My goodness, it's this tiny little place. But this is actually in my screen. There's the sand mine down here with cursor. And here is Mount Hardgrave. And that's at 681 feet. One hill, 583 feet. We don't see that so often, I don't think. And then the next one, Mount Hardgrave. So, I did my measurements of the actual Doppler using Google. It's 40 feet across. And the tower sitting above the flora. Let's go back to the other image. We don't need this one now. The tower, make sure I'm in place with my picker yet, that'll do. You see there's the flora line, it's protruding out of the water, and there's a tower, and then there's a round ball, and that ball is 40 feet across by Google Earth. Okay. Now see all this blurry stuff here? Now what on earth do you think that is? That's called motion in the ocean. Well, it is by me. And that'll do for that for the minute. So now what I've done, we're fortunate enough to have a 12 by 6 full size slate pool table. And I didn't put the spirit level on it. They did that when they installed it. We play on it. We'd notice if there was a wonky pocket. So now a brief explanation of my model. We know that the tower is 681 feet at its base, and let's just say the tower's 100 feet high, so that's 681, 781, and another 40, 820 feet. Okay, 820 feet, and we knew from Google Earth that it was 46 miles away. Let's check that. Did I note that? Oh yeah, 46 miles away. Mount Hardgrave. Go back again to the picture, so we've got all the references we need. Now, from this camera, I've set 2 tape measures, and there's an object down the end there. I'll just zoom into it. Whoopsie. Using digital, it's a bit furry. Oh, there it is. Look at that. So essentially, let's just see what we might be seeing, even just about the right ratio, we'd say. So, I'm looking just above the actual plane because there's a pocket brass here, just here. So I've got to sort of look above that. I could perhaps lower it a tad further. Let's just see if we can lower it a tad. But see what's happening now? There's some foreground blur, so I just have to raise it and go with the flow. There it is, look at that. But just for the moment, I'm going to run my finger. Imagine over 46 miles of ocean. Any blur at all, what we just witnessed in that camera, to this point here at 46 miles. So this represents a piece of flora we can see, and this is rough enough. There's a target point, so I've got something to focus on. On the top of there would say beware the borders. So 681 plus 120, 140, 820, 850. Let's call 850. Okay, so here's the next part of the trick, the Nikon Coolpix P900. It has an 83 times zoom from that wide shot. So 83 times, every micro wobble disturbs the picture. And we don't have a $1,000 tripod. These are all just flimsy video tripods. But I'm not going to gas bag on too much. Let's look at this. On the left hand side, pull back. So we see, here it is, pocket, brass, otherwise a flat plane, 2 tape measures. The yellow one on the left is running flat along the plane to the target. The next tape on the right is the silver one. Silver or yellow. Don't mean to be facetious, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Now what we've got is I've put in what's called an artificial curve. You see there's the plane, and now I've put in a curve. And I've actually got this curve at about the same height even, a tad higher than this object here. Now of course, curves on the Earth don't go up and down unless there's some sort of hill, sand dune, or a big wave of a ship. So this curve isn't real, but it's rough enough, good enough for people to understand, because I'm going to refer to a number of other objects. Let's go on with the message. Here's an image, got that, thank you. When you go to the top of the person's apartment building, the same is barely visible, yet you seem to have missed it because you're expected to be on a separate island. Here's an image. Thank you. Actually, that wasn't the confusion, it's the murk in the air. Yes, you don't see it because you've got the glare on a tiny little viewfinder in the sunshine. And your hand holding it, even putting it on a wobbly tripod. We weren't prepared-ish. Didn't know what to see. Only met the guy for the first time. In the transition in that 100 feet, the murk in the sky is what you should be thinking about. Really. Now we will see more elevation on the land. And yes, it now doesn't look like an island, because it's not. It's part of an island. It's a high point on Stradbroke Island. Move on. As I said, it's only just visible, but if you adjust contrast levels, it might stand out more. Thanks. I'm busy. I don't adjust the pictures. I can. It takes time. I haven't got any. Okay, as I said, it's only just visible, but if you adjust contrast levels, blah blah. Anyway, while you have assumed that this is an island off the coast from Moreton Island, it is actually on North Stradbroke. It is a radar tower for Brisbane Airport. Here's an image. Look at that. There it is. I've looked for 4 months. Thank you again. Thank you. You think I'm kidding? I wrote a letter to Maritime Safety Queensland and they said it was probably Mount Stapleton to the southwest. And when you cross the second island from South Stradbroke to North Stradbroke, that's Jumping Pin. And just so you know, Mount Stapleton's over here. Then there's another one here down at Mount Coorul for Gold Coast Airport.
Oh, there goes a plane. Yeah, got it.
And there's another one, Canagan, Mount Canagan, north of Sunshine Coast. I've been over the Google Earth with a fine-tooth comb, could not find a 40-foot ball in 70 miles, whatever I looked. I digress. Back to the point, so thanks very much. I know it's marked in my map, of course. Here's Pete Turner, here's the map. What's the dialogue say? So in your video you're actually looking at North Stradbroke Island. The location of the golf course is shown in the map, thank you. And here's the Google Earth, I presume, and it says here it is again. And I've marked where the radar tower is, thank you. And furthermore, if you think about the first 2 pictures that I captured from your video, you will see that from the higher elevation you see more of the island below the tower than from the tower elevation. Sure. This is perfectly in line with what is to be expected on a globular Earth. I'll refrain. My concern is that in just 2 minutes I was able to find these things out. As such, it does not look good when you make these claims. Unfortunately, the presentation that you have made is not scientific, and because you are claiming it to be Vedic, you may tarnish the name of the Vedic cosmology. Please don't take offence. I am very serious about the Temple of the Vedic Planetarium project, and I want to see it done properly. Thank you. Oh, was there a Hare Krishna? There was, of course. No, there wasn't. There was a your servant. I'm your servant too, by the way. Back to the experiment. I'm not scientific. I took your data. We now know that the sand mine is, I think, 40 miles away, and the tower is 46 miles away. Excuse me. And at 46 miles away, we've got to look at something else. Back to the computer. Gosh, so busy. What's this one? No, that's not the one. Must be this one. Okay. Now what we've got here, and I'll just check it's in my viewfinder. Wouldn't want to be video recording a screen I can't see. There it is. Now, that'll do. Let's go skew width to get the images again. Back to the 2 tapes. The distance here is 320 odd times. I made this about a centimetre a piece to represent the 800 feet. And it's like 300 times that centimetres, because it's 12 feet. Lucky, huh? Imagine trying to make a model of all this stuff. You didn't have this sitting around. I digress. Now, what we're going to do here is we are on the site called Earth Curve Calculator. Let's have a good look. There it is. Takes you a little while to find this, but this is the real McCoy. Let's discuss curve. In miles, curve is miles squared times 8 inches divided by 12 if necessary to find the feet. And it drops off in the first mile 8 inches. So now we've got to divide this whole length by 46 miles. No, I can't bother. It's unnecessary. We'll get the picture. In the first mile, 8 inches. You wouldn't notice that. In the second mile, so why did I get to 8 inches? Because it's 1 mile times itself, 1 times 1 times 8. It doesn't get to a foot because it doesn't go to 12, so it's just 8 inches. Now if I walked a mile, then the same law would occur. You see? If I walked that mile, then the drop off is another 8 inches every mile. Clever. Only problem is, it's not that law. It's squared. So you know what happens with the squaring. In the second mile, 2 times 2 is 4, times 8 is 32, divide by 12, 2 feet, 8 inches. In the third mile, 3 times 3 times 8, 72, divide by 12, 6 feet. So in 3 miles, it's got from 8 inches to 6 feet. The curve. So I could go on with that, but we're just going to cut to the chase because you've got to go and check it for yourself. If you call someone out, or even want to give me a hand, you think I'm not scientific. All right, I get it. So here you've got units, metric, imperial. We're imperials, right? Beauty. And the eye height is 120 odd feet, including a human. Now Google says 85 or 90, so they're wrong. And Raj looked for it and he found 120 feet. So I'm putting 5 feet for the height of the tripod or the compass plate. Okie doke. And the target distance, we'll do the first one first, is 40. Because that's the sandpit. And it says calculator. We're not at sea level, we're getting up above that motion in the ocean. So if you brought your camera back down to the sand, you wouldn't see anything because of little ripples. Blocks out the huge picture. So then you get your tripod up over the waves and you still won't see anything because of motion of all sorts. So we found the compass point and that's stationary and we can go to it at all times and there's 3 of them, we can triangulate it. Okay. But what it says here, just so we know, at 40 miles, it should be 461.576 feet below the horizon. That's the sand mine. That's at 40 miles. The sand mine doesn't get to 350 feet, the whole thing. So you wouldn't see any of it, let alone land that it's sitting on. Okay, so now let's go back to the other point. How long is it? 46 miles. Press 6. Press enter. And now we've got a staggering 696 feet. So we could either say one or two things. I'm saying there's movement in the ocean, so it blocks the visibility of the beach and or ever what over a distance of 46 miles. I say it's the stuff in the moisture, it's the sea. It's the tides, whatever. And the other people are saying, no, it's curvature. Water doesn't curve, it's always flat, except for waves. Okay, so why would it be 696 feet below the horizon? I think I'll just adjust this really quickly and see what would happen if I put 5 feet. I'm just going to calculate that and see. Oh, massive! At sea level, that place would be 1,248 feet below sea level on a curve. I haven't proved curvature at all. What you're witnessing is the movement of water. The horizon's still always flat, no matter what the motion in the ocean, at distance. So when I pan across, now I know anywhere to the northeast, if I can see the tower, I can at least see 46 miles in any direction. Hope I see a boat. Hope I see a boat one day at 46 miles. I got to tell you, the challenge is on. I'm not trying to be smart. I'm trying my best to help. But can I see it with the eye again? I think I'm just missing it. So I'm just going to zoom. I can see the major islands just there.
And the one furthest up, almost to the right, a bit further to the right.
Well, there it is. See
Just
my...
left the fishing rod.
Well, here we go. We're just panning to the right. That's Stratty.
Once you get in the distance there, you just
Where's
fix
the
focus
boat?
and then...
There it is. Look at that.
Yeah.
You can see the red paint along the hull, separate from the black. And that's what, 20 miles, you reckon? 20k?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry?
Good 25, yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to pan around.